I'm here with Marc Demetriou, a member of the Morris County Chamber of Commerce, who recently had his first book published called Lessons from My Grandfather. Marc, congratulations on publishing your first book. Tell us, why did you decide to write it?
Well, thank you very much. You know, the passion for why I wrote the book and the reason I wrote the book was to really share my grandfather with the world. He was an amazing individual. He was an amazing mentor. He was my best friend. And the messages that I learned from him my whole life, you know, I was around for 37 years while he was still here. He died at 97. And the purpose of sharing him with the world was to give the world a mentor that I had. I was very advantaged in life to have this wonderful man with wonderful lessons and wisdom to share with me all my life. So I wanted to give this back to the world to say, here is a mentor that I had that helped me be successful. Here's the man that became successful, came here at 20 with nothing but a dream and retired 60 a millionaire and lived to 97. How did he do it? What made him successful? Because who he was, what was inside of him, and all his ideology and beliefs. So for me, it was about sharing this mentor with the world, the immigrant story of coming from nothing to inspire, motivate, and empower thousands, if not millions of people one day with his message. To again, give back a mentor that I had. It was really the purpose of why I wrote the book.
It's such an impressive story, your grandfather coming to America through Ellis Island. It's very exciting to learn about it. This is in the self-help genre, which there are millions, if not billions of books in this genre. So tell us, why would a person take your book off the shelf versus all the other ones? Tell us about some of the lessons that you put in this book.
Right, so when I purposely wrote this book, and I've read a lot of the success books, I've listened to a lot of motivational speakers, I mean, thousands and thousands of hours of YouTube videos on motivational, and my purpose of writing this book was to write something different. I wanted to give the audience, the reader, something empowering to say, here's a real life story of a man that came from nothing and how he did it and what enabled him to do it. And so the book's methodology was to be inspirational, motivational, success-based book, but with a real life story about my grandfather and infused throughout the book. So you'd walk away reading this book saying, wow, what an inspirational story. Wow, I understand now how he got ahead in life. It was all because of who he was and being passionate and having the right attitude and being joyful and being grateful and helping others. All these good things, working hard. It seems like it's simple stuff, but I put it all in a way in the book that you can take away saying, I get it now. I get how life should be. Also put a chapter in there about real life stuff of how to be successful, you know, whether it's about networking or strategic alliances or database management or time management, organizational skills. So I kind of put real life takeaways as well. So after you read this book, you can not only say, wow, I feel like I wish I met Charlie. You know, he's that great of a guy. And wow, there's some real life lessons here to take away. You know, my grandfather taught me a lot, so I even put in 15 of his principles, solid principles, into the book.
What I love the most about what you said is how you captured the stories in his life of how people can relate to it, because people love to hear stories. Right. They're relatable. They find themselves in other people's stories. So you talk about 15 lessons in the book that you learned. Tell us about some of your favorite lessons.
Some of my favorite lessons are attitude is everything, be joyful for what you have, be alive and awake to the suffering of others, never give up on yourself. You know, these are powerful, powerful lessons. And he believed this. He was the kind of man that would say, from the minute you get up to the minute you go to bed, how you handle life, how you take on life is all about your attitude. So the attitude is everything lesson or principle or methodology of life itself is amazing to me. So I always took that to heart. So when people are with you or when you're interacting with people, like how your attitude is about everything you do is powerful, you know, and people remember your attitude or your passion or your purpose. These all playing together, you know. So some of the things that he also would say too about, you know, being joyful. He was a magnet because he was happy, he was uppy, he was passionate. So whatever he did, you know, and it comes down to even his labor of working. So his first job was shining shoes. And he would tell me things like, when I was shining shoes, I didn't think I was above or beneath anybody. I was happy to have the job, to be working, to do it well, to speak to people. And they saw I had that passion and they liked that. And I saw that that got me ahead in life. So I learned from an early age, wow, I think I got this. At an early age, I think I understand this. Then he became a busboy and he loved being a busboy. He worked hard, he came in early, helped other people, had passion for what he did, talked to the customers. Like, so he got it at an early age. So all this wisdom and all these lessons, it's real life stuff. You know, it's real life stuff. So, and some of the lessons of never giving up on yourself, you know, have faith in yourself, persevere, a lot of different ways I can say them all, but this all comes down to basic stuff, you know what I'm saying? It's really powerful.
And I've known you for many years, and I see you put those lessons into action every day. You've built this extraordinary mortgage banking business. You have so many connections, strategic alliances. Tell us about how you feel your readers will be inspired to change their life so that they can implement the lessons they're learning in this book. What can they look forward to?
You know, what I tell people to do is after they read the book, they'll understand because it's powerful in its nature. But I always tell people, I want you to look in the mirror and take a hold of where you are in your life. And look at yourself and say, am I being the best that I could be? Am I happy with what I'm doing in my life? Am I passionate about what I do in my life? Am I the best mother, father, sister, brother, aunt, uncle, friend, whatever, best employee, best boss? The method my grandfather put inside of himself and me was to be excellent at whatever you do. Strive for excellence and not being self-centered, remain humble, and help others along with that. It's not about being the best you could be, but forget about everybody else. Help others as well. So the message from the book and the message in life that I like to put out there is, be the best that you can be. Do things with passion. Do things that you have a purpose for and your why is built into that. So if you're into something that you love or you're passionate about, you can't fail. You know, I like to say there's pillars in life that if you're likable, trustworthy, or give someone a sense of comfort, you're an expert at what you do, you can't fail because people see that that's part of you. You know what I'm saying? So when you enjoy something, you're passionate and you're an expert and you come across that way, you really can't fail. So you have to love what you do.
This book is for everybody. I mean, I would recommend this book to cousins of mine who are graduating colleges, trying to find their purpose in life. They don't even know what their strengths are yet. What are some of the answers that demographic can find in your book?
Well, so the book was written for, you know, in my mind, 16-year-olds to 100-year-olds. You know, so the younger generations, you know, high school, college, early grads, people starting in the career world, versus people that are 40 and up that can still change their lives and really have a more successful life. And I'll talk about success in a minute. So let's talk about the younger generation. So for me right now, writing this book was to have them understand that success is a choice. Success is an option. And I say it that way because what you do with your life and the 24 hours you have in a day is really up to you. So if you want to be successful, it takes hard work, sacrifice, and commitment. Okay, but you need to find what your passion is. When you're going into a career, or if you're in any career at any age, if you don't love what you do, and most people don't, and that's a shame, it's not too late to change your careers. And I will tell you that doesn't mean stopping today and starting a whole new career. It means how about putting in an hour or two, morning or night, or whatever it is, a day to work towards your new craft. So if someone wants to change careers, let's say you want to be an artist, but you're working a full-time job, you have a family, but you're a great artist. So spend an hour or half an hour in the morning and a half an hour at night, 7 days a week, until you build up enough time and efforts behind you that it makes something of that life.
So when we make that choice to say, I'm going to say really nice things to myself, I'm going to be positive today, we change our energy. And we are so responsible for the energy that we bring into the world, and we will get the same energy back that we put out there. So I think the lessons from your grandfather talks a lot about how that energy matters every single day.
That's a great point. You know, my grandfather in life, one of the reasons why he got ahead in life was who he was. He was this passionate, energetic, positive, joyful individual. He's 5'2", this little peanut, but people loved him. The energy he gave out and the people that came back to him was like, it's a magnet. When you're like that in the world, the forces, they just come to you. You know, people say, well, it's like a magnet when you're positive. It is, because people want to be around you. They don't want to be around negative people. So being as positive as he was, hardworking, passionate, a good guy, helped other people, you know, having the right attitude, working hard, this matters. And so the secret to success about who he was, I say to myself, so here's a guy who didn't finish high school. Here's a guy that got ahead in life. He started with nothing, was on food lines, you know, polishing shoes. How did he get ahead in life? It's who he was. Yeah. That was his secret. And that's why I need to share him with the world, to say, this man did it with his wisdom and his ways of life that he taught himself and from people around him. And I learned from him as my mentor. So my gift to the world is saying, he did it. He's taught me, I've been successful in my life in a lot of ways, and now I'm giving back to say, here's the secret. So that's the nature of the reason for the book, and you know, the positive energy that you give out comes back.
Congratulations, Marc. It was so great to talk to you and learn about your book, Lessons from My Grandfather, Wisdom for Success in Business and Life. Please visit Amazon.com to get your copy today.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You know, the book's available on Amazon, but actually can be visited on my website as well at grandfatherlessons.com, where there's a sample chapter, information about endorsements, and also purchase options as well, in addition to going to Amazon. So I thank you so much. This was a pleasure today.
Thank you, Marc.
Thank you.